Hello, Dr. Rosen.
Hello.
I'm glad you could join me today, and thank you for coming on. You're kind of got a lot of space over your head. I don't know if you can bring your camera down just a bit. You're there you go. Now I can see a little bit more of you. Wonderful. That way I can see your whole face. Yeah. So you can see me on screen with you, right?
Yes.
So Dr. Eric Rosen, my wonderful colleague and partner, and we're working on a book together and some other things. But the main thing I want to talk to you about is recently you attended the conference in Daytona Beach of the International Association of Counselors and Therapists and the International Medical and Dental Hypnotherapy Association. And I think you got surprised by a wonderful award that they gave you. Is this true?
Yes,
True
yes.
statement? Okay.
Quite a surprise.
Yeah, and you have it there so you can show us the award, the beautiful award.
Yeah.
And so what is this award for?
It's the I.A.C.T. Educator of the Year 2018 award.
Wonderful.
And
Educator of the Year. Beautiful.
Yes, it was an award that I.A.C.T. gives out for professionals in the field that are teaching hypnosis.
Wonderful. And you are teaching hypnosis in multiple ways. So can you just give the viewers a little background on your teaching and what you've been doing in your history of hypnotherapy here?
Well, part of this is also an acknowledgement for you, Patty, because by history, I actually started learning hypnosis back in the late 70s, 80s through NLP hypnosis, and that made use of Ericksonian techniques and NLP techniques that were conducive to hypnosis. And I used those techniques for many years in the process of also getting a doctorate in counseling psychology and moving into practice and so forth. I kind of drifted from hypnosis. It wasn't until Patty, you and I met years and years ago that your interest drew me back into hypnosis, and through that process, it actually helped me to get back into making use of hypnosis, learning more of techniques and methods that are being used over the years currently, and in that process, also getting a master trainer certification through I.A.C.T. to teach hypnosis, and with the pleasure of working with you. And that actually...
we've taught a lot of classes together over the last few years here at Hypnosis Institute.
And yes, through our work together, it also, as I've been teaching for many years, about 12 years as an adjunct at Argosy University in their graduate school, the Florida School of Professional Psychology. And in that process have brought the opportunity to teach hypnosis. And also by history, I have also tag teamed together on some of these where I have appreciated your expertise and participation to come into class and also to help with teaching hypnosis. And through that process, I was quite surprised to see that I.A.C.T. had attention to that they knew about it. And I think that's some of those efforts were being acknowledged through this award.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting. At Argosy now, that's in Tampa, Florida. I don't remember if you mentioned that, but
yes.
Yeah, and it was fun to me to see the psychology students, these young people with hungry minds that are how excited they get. Because I know I have always been so excited about human behavior and you know the psychology of that, and which led me to hypnotherapy. And to watch people who really are fascinated and want to learn all of these different aspects. So it's nice that you're facilitating bringing it into the area there for them to really be able to have access to some of some of the, you know, the training that you've had in NLP and hypnosis and Ericksonian. I mean, what a great place to start learning from this field of study. What a rich background before you got into, you know, teaching the psychology students. So very cool.
And I think it's wonderful to see the interest that, and even the American Psychological Association and also various medical centers are now making use of and supporting the use of hypnosis as a complementary integrative service. And it can be very powerful across a whole spectrum of need, from symptom reduction to pain relief to preparation for surgery, the medical hypnotherapy aspects. And so level the value of using it for trauma, for stress management, performance enhancement. And I find that many of the students are fascinated with it as another tool in their toolbox. So it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me of another piece of this picture that's forming here, is that we're working on a book together that's just about that very thing, right? The tools and the tools. Yeah. So that's another piece that's coming, that's going to be coming around in the near future for both hypnotherapists, licensed people, and for the licensed profession to understand how to integrate all of the things that both bring to the table. And to be able to incorporate the more whole person, holistic approach that has, you know, been for the last 50 years or so coming more into formation. But I think even more so now with all of these wonderful techniques and the way that we really can work together to make sure that we're incorporating all of someone's resources, not just treating someone from the outside, but using their inner resources as well for treating different, you know, conditions and illnesses and things. That's exciting to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And I know IACT doesn't give out that award, Educator of the Year, and IACT again is the International Association of Counselors and Therapists. They have people all over the world, and I know they have quite an impressive list of people to draw from all over the world that are educators, and they don't give it out lightly, as I said. So that's quite an honor to receive that, and you have been educating people in many different ways throughout your career. And recently, I think it's accelerating, at least since I've known you. I'm noticing you have been accelerating your ability and the ability to bring these techniques of hypnotherapy and, you know, NLP and all of these things to the licensed profession and into the educational system for people that are wanting to get into the helping fields in some way. So I think you richly deserve that honor that you received a month or so ago. And I just
thank you. I appreciate it.
I couldn't have been happier when I heard about it. One of the few ones that I missed through the many years I've been going to the conference. So that was one of the main things I was sorry I missed. But next year I will be there to be able to join you in the fruits of that accomplishment. So so we're working on a book together, and you're working still at Argosy now. You're a professor on staff, right, at Argosy? Is that accurate?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing there?
Well, I'm an associate professor, and I teach in the the Florida School of Professional Psychology, and it's a graduate program in clinical psych, and it includes both a master's and a doctoral level training. It's also APA accredited by the American Psychological Association, so that students coming out of the program that complete a doctorate, it actually is called a PsyD, are eligible to continue to go forward to get licensed and also to practice as clinical psychologists in the field. And so I teach several classes and also manage advisees and also dissertations, where I help students with research that they're doing toward completion of their degree. And so it's been a very exciting opportunity. And in addition to that, I'm also in practice in Palm Harbor, so I also get to use all these different techniques and approaches for working with folks. So it's I consider it the best of both worlds, practice and then also teach.
And I just think it's great that you're helping other people to be able to have that full background of all of these techniques to add to their psychology training. And hopefully that'll be happening more and more as time goes on. I think you're one of the people that just recently has been recognized for helping that to happen. And the more that people like you are out there facilitating those kinds of things, I think the more probably in 10 years it'll just be common, you know, that you go for a psychology degree or even in the medical fields, you know, the medical hypnotherapy and some of the other things that we're working on, and you know, that it'll be more common. I think it's moving very quickly in that direction. So, but it takes people like you to really bring it to the forefront. So I congratulate you again for that wonderful award for the Educator of the Year. It's quite an honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me here, and we're going to be working on some projects together for the future, probably doing a parts therapy training soon, since you are now a certified parts therapy instructor for the Tebbets Foundation. And that's a wonderful technique that we'll be collaborating on a little bit, I'm sure, in the future and presenting to the public as well. So, all right, well, thank you, Dr. Rosen, for joining us today, and we'll be working together a lot in the future, I certainly hope.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right, bye-bye.